I'm Catherine.
I'm Gail, and welcome to Women Over 70 Aging Reimagined, our award-winning weekly podcast. Visit womenover70.com to learn about how you may become involved. And join Aging Reimagined Circle and enjoy free participation in our monthly online programs. And thank you for listening.
Today, we're very happy to be talking with Kathy Haney, age 76, who grew up in a family she's described as extremely challenging. In starts and stops, Kathy pursued college to earn a bachelor's degree in occupational education and a master's degree in vocational administration education. And her career in education and accreditation includes teaching dental assisting and dental hygiene and coordinating dental programs at the college level. She was accreditation site surveyor for the American Dental Association, which led to the Illinois State Medical Society as assistant director of medical education. And then during her last 10 years of employment, Kathy served as academic coordinator of pediatrics at Rush University Medical Center. So moving to the present, Kathy is a cancer survivor and trained mentor for the Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance, which is a national entity. She's also a trained mentor for the Northwestern Woman-to-Woman program, which supports women with gynecological cancer. And as a 33-year member of the Oak Park River Forest Infant Welfare Society, she served on the board. She's been a longtime director of the Circle, and she's developed the pet therapy program. And she is a new member now of the Rush Oak Park Community Engagement Council. Welcome, Kathy, to Women Over 70.
Thank you.
So this introduction sounds like your education and career follow this nice linear path. But like most of us, that was not the case for you. And I know you've given a lot of thought to what happened when and what influenced what and why did you take this path and that path. And your trajectory is more complex than what I just recounted. If it's okay, I'm going to quote what you sent me an email this morning. And you said, in the process, this has brought to light the extraordinary opportunities that have forever changed your life. And I think that's just a really wonderful way to think about how our lives unfold, any of our lives unfold, and to pause and take stock of that. So could you give us some highlights of your journey up to the retirement phase?
So I'm the oldest of 6 children. My father was a laborer, a mechanic, owned his own business. We had a lot of dysfunction in our family, especially with my father. He was extremely challenging in many, many ways. There was a particular incident of dealing with addiction that my mom brought me in on. It was a suicide attempt. And it was very difficult at 16 years of age. I just turned 16 to experience that. From that point, I was a year away, obviously, from graduation from high school. I was working for a dentist, our local dentist, on Saturdays. And of course, my parents thought the logical thing was for me to go on into dental assisting and then on to dental hygiene. When really, I really wanted to be a nurse, but that wasn't even a consideration. The fact I had already had experience, and therefore that's what I should go into. So, long story short, I got into the dental hygiene program at SIU Carbondale. I was there 3 weeks, and then I could not get my mind off of what was going on at home. I just kept imagining what things my siblings didn't even know happened. It was a secret between my mom and my dad and me, and I just could not get over the concern. So with that, I packed up my bags, told my parents I was coming home, and my dad was thoroughly irritated with the fact that he had driven so many miles for that effort to be lost. He got me into the dental assisting program there at Rock Valley College in Rockford, and I went on and completed that. And then I got a job as a dental assistant in oral surgery, and then 3 years later in general dentistry. And from that, I was offered the opportunity by the people at Rock Valley, where I went to school. The faculty asked me if I would consider being on their faculty, and which was a distinct honor. And I did do that. I joined them and practiced for 3 years not practice, but I experienced 3 years of education in working with my students, and they were a delight because their energy, their profound desire to learn and to activate what they learned into something constructive. And then at the time, I also came upon our director of counseling at the junior college, and he said, Kathy, you really can do more with your life if you want to. You can further your education. There is a program at SIU Carbondale that will allow you credit for work experience, will allow you the opportunity to proficiency your student teaching, and allow you the opportunity to go to school during the summer, work your job during the school year up in Rockford, and do what you needed to do to succeed. So in total, it took me 9 years to get my undergraduate degree. I'm proud of it, but I'm also realized it was a heck of a lot of work. And I knew I had to do it on my own. My father, I asked him if he would consider paying for my education, and he said, no, you had your chance. So that took care of that. So thanks to my inner energy and frustration and anger, honestly, we were promoting factors to get me to do what I needed to do to take care of myself if I wanted this bad enough. And I did. So I got scholarships for the SIU. I worked student work. I worked at the Ramada Inn. I took in babysitting. I did ironing. I did whatever I could to earn extra money so that I could pay for my education. And then I learned again from the occupational education department about this wonderful opportunity through the U.S. government, Department of Health, Education, and Welfare. And it was the Education Professions Development Act, which allowed students to continue and finish their occupational education degree and or to go on to graduate work. So I was able to secure that award, a true gift, to earn the rest of my bachelor's degree. And I applied it. I got a sabbatical at Rock Valley College. They gave me a year off to earn that. And I applied again for the EPDA fellowship for graduate work. And I got that. And gratefully, they gave me that time off. So I entered the program with a certificate, and I left the program with a master's in 15, which that was my goal, and I met it. My dad and I had a rocky experience, a rocky go. He came to my bachelor's degree graduation. He would not come to my master's degree education award, but that's okay because I knew that I had done it. I did it by myself, and I had no debt, and that was a tremendous relief. I came back to Rock Valley College for a year and taught because they had been kind enough to award me 2 years off, and it got wonderful compliments from them and encouragement to keep going, keep challenging it. I did apply for the my doctorate award for the EPDA. I did earn that, but I thought, well, that's kind of asking a lot. So I did go back for the 1 year, and I did not go back for the year for my doctorate because I felt I had accomplished a great deal. I didn't want to have too much for fear I would have not get a job. I knew I had a job to go back to, and that was pretty important to me. So I moved out of the house, of course, and started to live my own life in Rockford. And then I started to applying for other work. After a while, I just thought, I could do more. And then I went on to apply for a position down in St. Louis. I was a director of the dental hygiene program and a dental assisting program and on junior college. And then I went on and did additional work as the adjunct faculty for St. Louis University. And then after that, I was there 5 years. After that, I ultimately moved from St. Louis and went on to Indiana University at Gary to run their dental hygiene and dental assisting program, which was, rewarding, but for various reasons, I think it was I didn't feel there was a lot of equity in the diversity that was out there. And so I needed to do something for my heart, for my soul, to recognize that we are all one and we should have the opportunity to get what we can possibly achieve.
It just strikes me that earlier on in your career, others saw things in you that you didn't yet recognize. And at some point, it's like, oh, I can do this. I can chart my own path here, and I'm going to do it no matter what. So at kind of, what was that turning point, or was it a very gradual kind of thing?
Honestly, it was gradual, because I think it was Dr. Harry Palm at Rock Valley who suggested that I further my education, that I could do something more. It was the fact that I was able to ace all my work, that I could, write my research paper and have a committee that was very supportive, and just people that could encourage me, that believed in me more than I believed in myself, which started me on a new trajectory. It was great, and it was enlightening, and it was helpful, and it gave me confidence that I didn't have. It also made me realize that I did not have to protect anyone. It was not my responsibility, but it took years of counseling before I got to that point.
That's critical. So diversity and equity have been really important to you for a very long time. Can you talk about that, and when did those interests or concerns surface? And
When I went to Indiana, I think, it was a very diverse population, and we had to have a patient population that was diverse, because in dental hygiene, you need different classes of oral hygiene. And so this, you create people of all ethnicities, different levels of intelligence. And so it was humbling. It was interesting. And I felt like there was an underserved group here, and there wasn't, and there was underserved budget to make things happen that I needed to have happen for this program to pass accreditation to the American Dental Association, American Dental Hygiene Association. I was a surveyor. I knew how to do that. I knew what they expected. So from there, I moved on. It was an experience. I'm glad I had it. I learned a lot. But then I went on to work for the Illinois State Medical Society, and there I learned a different realm of medicine and dentistry, and how to help physicians avoid litigation, how to help physicians earn their requirements through continued medical education, to renew their licenses. I mean, it was just so many different facets. So it was mostly community education, physician education, continued medical education, surveying their continued medical education programs in their hospitals, which led back to what I did as a site surveyor for accreditation and dental hygiene. And then after that, little did I know, that accreditation experience just carried me from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other. And then I got to work for 10 years and reporting to the chairman of pediatrics at Rush. My first responsibility was to write the accreditation document, because he was a new chairman, and anytime you get a new chairman in, you needed to revamp those materials. And so it carried me through. You just never know where life's going to carry you with what experience you've had. I would never have estimated that accreditation would have been my link, but it carried me through several different experiences. So that, and from that, the equity and diversity, my involvement with this Infant Welfare Society of Park River Forest, they run their own children's clinic. We take care of the children of the working poor, children meeting their medical, dental, and behavioral health needs. And it's a phenomenal organization. Yes, we depend on Medicaid, and we're a little concerned about that right now at this time, no less. But we also, through donations, we function, and we're about 100 members from the local area and beyond. Mostly women. Doesn't mean we wouldn't accept men, but it's geared to helping these children. We have a giving library. Every child that is seen takes a book home with them or more to share. And we have the pet therapy program, which gives the children tremendous amount of comfort before they go into their appointments. It also helps the staff.
I'll bet. 3 years is a long time to be with one organization in a volunteer capacity. So what keeps you invested? What keeps you going?
It's the mission. It's the mission. The clientele, the fact that everyone, and I did some volunteer work there as a hygienist and as an assistant when they were short of help. Every patient is treated with respect. Every single patient in the children's clinic. It's a new clinic. We were able to pay it off. We're almost 110-year-old organization. But it's just amazing the people we see, the way they are treated, the way they appreciate being treated. It's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. And we do coat drives and we do other things to help them, to feel good about themselves. We do Christmas drives, gift drives, and it's a way of giving back to those who are less fortunate.
Am I right that along the way, Kathy, you have become a mentor to a lot of people?
I have. My cancer journey specifically, I had uterine cancer in 2013. It returned in 2018. Wasn't supposed to. It was a total hysterectomy. It was just a real fluke that it came back. But from that, the nurse practitioner or my oncologist said, Kathy, there's a program that you might be interested in. And it's called Women to Women. This is at Northwestern University Medical Center in Chicago. And it was like, yeah, maybe I could. But it was entitled the Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance. It was kind of the umbrella over so many of these gynecologic cancers and studies and all. But I was trained as a mentor. I work with women who were in the Northwestern system as patients with gynecologic cancer. It was humbling. It made me so grateful. It was eye-opening. It was sad, but it was also full of hope. And I learned so much from these women and their families.
At what point do you get involved in the process of their cancer journey as a mentor?
In the very beginning. They could have been in the very beginning of their journey. They could have been midway through. They could be at the end of their journey, be it successful treatments, clinical trials, or whatever. Or it could be where they, good Lord, call them home. But it was an amazing. My time with the OCRA it's really a worldwide. I had one person from the Dominican Republic. I had people from different states. You may have a short experience with them because they only need 1 or 2 meetings with you, and there are others who wanted weekly meetings. And then there are others who just would fall off. And you wouldn't really know what was going on, what happened to them. But ours was to be present at the moment and not to take anything personally, but to offer the best you could as a listener. I feel that you can learn so much by listening, and then enter your comments where you feel appropriate and necessary. But it is their story to tell, and it's my time to listen and be of help.
So you are currently dealing with some unexpected health issues of your own. What are you able to share with us about that?
In the year 2000, I due to osteoarthritis, I had to have a hip replacement. And then about 5 years later, the other hip went out, and another hip replacement. So this 20-year-old hip replacement, well, the other one was 25. The 20-year-old replacement, the titanium fractured of the joint replacement. And I knew I was in pain. I knew it wasn't going to last forever, but I never imagined that it would be because of fractured titanium that would cause it. From that, the pieces of titanium rubbed together for a condition called metallosis. And then that created a staph infection. And the staph infection was not the Staphylococcus aureus that is, could be deadly, but this is a staph dermatitis, which is still a little puzzling to me. I need to get more information on that because, it wasn't like my skin was touching the the apparatus. So it was different. This happened in February. I was in the hospital for a month. I was moved to a specialty hospital through Rush. I had my surgery at Rush, Midwest Orthopedics, and then I was there a week before they decided what they were going to do because they knew it was serious. And there were 3 different cancellations of my surgery in 1 week. And then I finally had the surgery, stayed another few days, and moved to the specialty hospital. I was there for 3 weeks. And I am learning to walk all over again. I'm learning to appreciate what I've got. Realize, I've been through bumps in the road before. I'm going to knock this one out too. I have to. I can't live in the past. I've got to work toward the future. And know that this is a temporary thing. It's probably been the hardest thing I've ever experienced because it has taken so long. I'm in physical therapy 3 times a week. I was on a PICC line for 3 weeks. It was like an IV that the nurse, they come to your home and cleanse it and change the line, and it's pretty intricate. And then I got rid of that. Then I started going outpatient. So I'm on a walker, but I'm moving to a cane. That's good. I have a limp. I'm really trying hard to get rid of because it wasn't there before. I don't want it. I don't want it there now. I'm on 6 months of antibiotics because of the staph infection. And this too will pass. And I have a great husband and great friends.
Tell us about that great husband. How long have you been married? And
Tom and I have been married for almost 38 years in October. And we have one great son who lives in California. And, we hear from him, and we're just grateful to have him in our lives. So we're going to see him in June. Looking forward to it. But my husband, he really took those vows seriously. In sickness and in health. And he has been my right hand for so many things. My cancer walks, my orthopedic issues. He's been my rock. And I'm so grateful to him.
It's wonderful.
If he hears this, he's going to get a big head. Then I'm going to have to live with that,
the other thing she said.
He deserves to be rewarded.
So you mentioned friends. I know you are a friend to everyone. That is it's your nature. You can't help yourself, I think. And but what about receiving support and asking for support? How's that going for you?
Well, I have some great friends through the Infant Welfare Society, through my cancer experience. They meal trains and things like that, which have been wonderful, or flowers and notes and cards and that. But there's when you're kind of confined in the 4 walls, as I have been of my home, even though I love our home, it's it makes you do a lot of thinking. It can be kind of depressing, and it just gives me impetus to want to get out there and get better, to be myself. Get in the car and drive by myself where I want to go, when I want to go. Gosh, I can't wait for that. I'm going to pick up another friend who has ovarian cancer, and we're in the same boat in that regard. And so I said, I'm going to pick you up, Linda, and we're going to get out of here. We're going to go for a ride. We're going to go shop or whatever we want to do. And we're going to. And I think giving back is greater to me than receiving, even though I'm learned to take people's offers and their goodness because they want to give it, even though I don't expect it. And that's kind of a hard thing for me to learn. One thing Northwestern has a cancer survivors walk. And I won't be able to do it this year because of the deep ruts that can be in the Grant Park. So I can't do that. But I do have a team called Team Grateful. And that's exciting because it gives people the opportunity to contribute to help cancer survivors and to rid of all cancers. It's not just about ovarian. It's all cancers.
So when does that walk happen?
That is June 1st. June 1st of this year in Grant Park. Yeah, it is exciting. So this whole experience and preparing for this and talking with you just makes me more and more grateful for what I have in my life. And I really am so grateful for the experience I had early on where it made me determined to do something worthwhile.
You do have some challenges thrown down in the way that, I just remember you saying to me that you want to grow more mature with dignity, mature and older with dignity and self-respect. And wanting to live, you also said, I want to live my life with purpose, as you obviously do, and help others do the same. Does that pretty much sum up your philosophy of life and living?
It does. And it's like I never really planned it that way. It just kind of fell into place in its own timing. And fortunately, I was open-minded enough to hear it.
Certainly, with all you've been through, you could have gone the other way and closed up and not given as much as you've given, but it's your nature, and that's who you are. And so, yes, it's really beautiful to hear.
Thank you.
You.
Well, I think that, Aging Reimagined is going to be a great group to join because I think it's going to help me with that. I went to the conference in October, was wonderful. And I can't wait for the October one this year. It's enlightening, and it gives you purpose and it gives you hope because I don't really want to get old. I know it's just kind of part of life, but boy, I'm not looking forward to it, And but I look at my skin sometimes, I look at my wrinkles, I look at my neck, I think, oh my God. But you know what? It's not really all about appearance. It's about what's inside.
Absolutely.
I was going to say the beauty comes from within.
And yours shines.
Yeah. You're kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Kathy, thank you so much. We could talk with you much longer, but we need to close. So again, appreciate you so much. I mean, just the thought and care that you put into preparing for the conversation with us and sharing your philosophy of life and your challenges and effective ways to cope and just go ahead and do it.
You betcha. You bet. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I have to thank God too for his influence in my life and my friends and those in my family who have been so supportive.
You're very welcome.
You.
Yes. And listeners, we'd like to see more of you at our monthly online programs. Make your voice heard as together we change the conversation about women aging. Visit Aging Reimagined Circle at womenover70.com. And if you enjoyed Women Over 70, we have another podcast to recommend to you. And that is Boomer Banter, Real Talk About Aging Well with Wendy Green. Wendy takes you on a journey to explore how to live vibrantly and healthfully with strong relationships and purpose as we age. Wendy covers topics around financial literacy, mental and physical health, relationships, and purpose. And thank you again for listening.